Okay, it's getting late in the day here, almost dark, but I want to do a video real quick before I call it quits for the day here. So, wanted to go over some things dealing with police that are actually in St. Kitts versus the U.S. We've had some questions about that. One thing that you will find out that when you come to St. Kitts is the police here are pretty laid back. It's one thing that I found out pretty quick when I got here. They don't have, I don't know of anybody who's ever gotten a speeding ticket here. No joke. I've been here 16 years and I just don't know anybody who's gotten one. They really don't, they don't have like a highway here. They've got one that's in town, but you really can't go like 70 miles an hour. And they just don't put a lot of emphasis on speed. And there are some people that get killed, speeding here because, they don't, you'll never see anybody get a speeding ticket. I haven't. And maybe and I've seen maybe a few speeding signs, but I think they took them down. I don't think they have them anymore. In fact, I don't even remember any speeding tickets in the whole country. One thing that's kind of refreshing, that's nice, is when I was in the U.S., right after I got my license, I think I was 16 or 17 years old, I instantly got a ticket for passing this is in the U.S., passing passing a car at an intersection of a road. I didn't even know at that point it was against the law. I got a ticket from that. And actually in the U.S., I used to get speeding tickets all the time. I mean, the thing that I like here is you don't have these policemen sitting behind these bushes and buildings and stuff trying to get you for speeding like they do in the U.S. That's big stuff in the U.S. I mean, you'll see policemen hidden behind places, and then all of a sudden their car comes zooming out, and then you get a ticket. Your insurance, I remember my insurance used to go up I think it was about $1,000 over like 3 years back. This is years ago. I don't even keep up with it now. But that one ticket ended up costing me a lot of money in car insurance. You don't have that here. It's I don't see that. I don't even know any policeman I've never seen a policeman hidden behind someplace trying to come out and get you for speeding and stuff. In fact, the only thing they're really strict on, they're a lot stricter on going down a one-way street, especially in town in Basseterre. And they've caught me doing that several times. I didn't see the one-way sign, but I never got a ticket from it. They just told me don't do it again. But I've been here 16 years. I've never had a ticket from a policeman here, which is kind of nice. They're able to manage, everything's fine, but you don't have hassles and stuff from police officers. It's really a nice environment. Like I've said before in other videos, the government here really, all they're trying to do is they're trying to make it where, things are as safe as can be and that life is good, but you're not having to, they don't want an atmosphere where you're having to be paranoid all the time to try to inflict you to, 2 or 3 or 5 hours or 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. They just don't spend a lot of time trying to inflict a lot of worrying on people to get them to go by the law. Now, some people might like that, some don't. It just depends. There are a lot of people that are sticklers on that like that. I don't like it. It's I don't have to. I'm not a speedster anyway now. I used to get tickets off and on. In fact, now people kid me because I drive too slow. But I guess that happens as you get older. But there are some other things too that are, there's a plus and there's a minus to it. When something happens and you call the police, sometimes it's a lot slower in getting things done. Depends on what it is. If there's a robbery or someone's getting threatened to get killed or something like that, now they're very quick on that. But one thing that's kind of nice is the policemen, if you go to a lot of major cities, if you call the police, a a lot of times it's very hard sometimes for the police to get out to where you are because of the traffic and stuff. It's very difficult. Some of these big cities that have a lot of high traffic, they might not have a cop that's close by. St. Kitts is different. I live in Frigate Bay. Hell, the police station is like a mile away. It's right, they have these police stations stationed throughout the whole Federation. It's not just like downtown. They've gone in different areas of the country. So, you know, it's, if something happens, you know, they can get out there pretty quick, but you don't have high traffic that's going to, you know, prevent them from getting out someplace. Now, they might move slower on certain things, but as far as, you know, traffic tying them up, you don't have that here. It really is a totally different lifestyle. When you come to St. Kitts, you'll see what I'm talking about, because it's, you know, you don't have any income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax, as far as St. Kitts goes now. You might have it where you're at if you're just coming down here and you're not, if you're a U.S. citizen, you know, you're still going to have the obligations of reporting your taxes and stuff like that till you relinquish. But if you're from other high tax country that taxes based on residency, then you're still going to have that until you break those tax ties. But when you do it, man, it's really nice. It's you don't have all these things that really bother you back in the U.S. You know, just a stickler on everything. You know, high income taxes, big government. You just don't have it here. That's why I say, if you're a libertarian, this is a real good place to be. You know, it's it just checks all the boxes. You know, I did a video just on UAE. The UAE, I'll be honest with you, they don't have you know, an income tax. They do have a corporate. They just came out with a corporate income tax, but no individual income tax. But I'll tell you something. They do have big government there, man. They stickler on everything there. I was there for 4 years, and some things are worse than the U.S. And they'll throw you in jail almost for anything over there. It's ridiculous. And if you go on the internet too, you'll see where some people have been tortured over there in these prisons. It's pretty bad. And I see all these people that really haven't lived in the UAE for at least, you know, 4, 5, 6 years, that really get educated. And I got introduced to the legal system there on a case that I had dealing with the Real Estate Regulatory Authority. It was a mess. Long story. I have it on another video. But I'll tell you something. I learned how unfair that system was. And they don't treat everybody the same. Emiratis are treated totally different. You'll never win a case against an Emirati. And there is no rule of law there. You have lawyers that will tell you that. That is BS, man. There is no rule of law in the UAE. You got a lot more rule of law in the US than you do in the UAE, I can tell you that. Because whenever you've got a dictator at the head of the country, I can tell you this, there is no rule of law. Whatever higher ups say, that's what goes, no matter what's written in the law. It has no significance at all. And it's amazing to me that people don't know this until they get their butt in a crack, and they start waking up and seeing that it's not what they always thought it would be. But you want to be in a society that's free, that has free elections. You want to be in a place that has no income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax. These are things that you want, but you want to have freedom. You want to have, you need to have a freely elected government, and you want to have as little corruption as possible. You know, I lived in Panama for about 4 years, and corruption there is really bad, man. It's, I was talking to a guy one time, and we were talking about asset protection. He says, I don't need a trust. He says, I went through a divorce in Panama, and he says, when we took a break from the court hearing, he said, all I did was I went, he says, all I did was, he said, I went to the judge, and just, it was a female judge, and he slipped her cash under the table, and the damn court case was totally finished in his favor. I mean, I couldn't believe this guy was telling you this. I mean, the things, the corruption in Panama is just unbelievable, the stuff. And I'll tell you another country that's even worse. It's got to be probably one of the worst. I would put it up there with Haiti. Is Dominican, in fact, they're attached to each other, is Haiti and Dominican Republic, which is the country on the other side of the same island. It's that place is a basket case. The corruption there, I could tell you more stories on things when I was there. And I would tell you also to stay away from their residency by investment program. I think you'd be sadly mistaken. A lot of people applying don't even get it. And even if you get it, the passport is really bad there. It's not worth it. I mean, if you're going to pick a choice, and remember too, you're going to have to learn the Spanish language to get that passport. So, you would be a lot better off. I like English-speaking countries. Like I said, I like places like here where the government is low-key, but it's English-speaking. That's the big key that I like. Now, I did a video on El Salvador, which I think is a good option, because they're changing, they're getting really, really strict on crime. Of course, there is a dark side of the other side, which I mentioned to you before, that to really clamp down on crime, you're going to have to impose on human rights. And you're going to have a lot of people thrown in prison that aren't supposed to be there. But when you don't have an investigatory system that can find out who's right and wrong, and just a lot of people get thrown in jail there that shouldn't be there. But it is changing the society. You're not having crime and stuff like you used to. And I think as time goes on, that system will get a lot more fair as far as for the people getting thrown in prison. But they got to do something, because it's the murder. It was the murder capital of the world. And I got a feeling Honduras is probably going to copy what they're doing once they see that system is working. And if you can save lives, then so be it. These are some things you have to look at. Folks, if you want to learn more on this, again, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, just put it below. And again, don't forget, hit the subscribe button right on your screen. You'll get new videos automatically as they come out. And I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Take care.